Okay, good morning, Modern World Studies students. This is Mr. Demagal, and unfortunately, I am not going to be in this morning for live class. I did want to create a recording because today's class is a little different, and we have a thesis statement that we'll be working on. If you are concerned about completing this or doing it correctly, I understand because this is the first time we've done this in this class. You can email, I will respond. However, tomorrow I will talk about it again some more. And you can see on our schedule, because we're going to meet on Thursday, that there is actually nothing due for you tomorrow. So tomorrow in class on Thursday, I'll go over the thesis statement assignment again. It says in your calendar that the thesis statement is due today. I will accept them tomorrow on Thursday. I'll even accept them on Friday. I just want you guys to get them done, feel comfortable about your writing. I know high school students do not feel comfortable about their writing in general. So we're going to go slow on this assignment. Um, the goals of the class, if we had this live, would be to define thesis statements for you guys to do that, explain how to support and refute your statement, your thesis statement, describe what source credibility is, which means can you trust a website that you're looking on to be credible or a book that you're looking at? Can you, also how to explain how to determine if it's credible or not? How do you tell somebody, ooh, that doesn't look like a good source? So, a thesis statement, if you're not sure what it is, it's a single sentence that presents an argument. Now, other people have said you can have more than one sentence. Keep it to one. It's much easier that way. It forces you, the writer, to sort of really narrow down what you're really getting at. You can have several ways to create a thesis statement. There are two. You can do a tiered thesis statement, which includes three main topics that you will address. You know, the limited subject, what you're writing about, the opinion, what you're trying to say about that, and the blueprint, which is an outline of how you're going to support your claim. Okay. So if I'll give you an example, let's see. Uh, I think America is the best country in the world. Um, and then I would provide reasons why So America is the best country in the world and has been for the past 240 years. And then you give the reasons why. We have an abundance of resources. We are a representative democracy. We have an amazing military and an economy that's doing very well. We're the number one economy in the world. You can go down the list, you know. So that would be a thesis statement, and you're supporting it in there. Or you could do an open-ended thesis statement, which is like a more general topic instead of listing three specific topics. Okay. So, and there's examples here. Let's talk about the prompt. This is a fake prompt. This is not for your assignment. Prompt: are Disney princess films beneficial or harmful to young audiences? So your three, if you wanted to go a tiered thesis, you could say Disney princesses can be considered more harmful than educational as role models for young girls because the characters are too concerned with improving their looks, relying on male characters, and fulfilling their own agendas. I think that Disney movies have changed. It's not the case anymore for princess movies, but I mean, I'm not completely sure. If you wanted to go the other way on this, you could say Disney princess movies are beneficial to young girls because they teach them how to be strong, how to fight back when they're being challenged or they're something like that. Because every time you see a Disney movie, the princess always has to overcome something, right? So you could put that in a thesis statement if you were supporting Disney princess movies. If it's more general instead of the three specific topics, because you see the topics they put up there, they're more concerned with improving their looks, relying on male characters, and fulfilling their own agendas. Those are the three. Where's my camera? Ah, three. Okay. Or three. The open-ended one, you could say Disney princesses are potentially hazardous role models for young girls because they promote reliance on others as opposed to reliance on one's self. Okay, those are just examples. Now we're getting into the part where you can either support or refute something. So supporting your thesis is the overall goal when you're writing, for sure. It means presenting information that will convince your reader that your thesis makes sense. When you write in general, you guys can play games and just support and refute stuff that you actually don't believe. I did that in college. I was asked if I thought this writer was genuine in his belief on his subject. And I said he wasn't, even though I actually believed he was. I was just trying something new out. And the professor gave me a good grade because I defended what I said. Okay, so it's like if you've seen a speech class before, they could say, tell me why school buses are important for school, or tell me why school buses are a waste of money for communities where kids can walk to school. And you could just switch back and forth. That's what you're doing with a thesis. You're developing and supporting an argument to make your reader buy into what you're saying. Or you could refute. It's the opposite of supporting. It means to show how a thesis or a claim is in the thesis is wrong. Refuting is showing why the argument is mistaken or incorrect. And again, you're going to support that. All right. If you read these thesis statements below, Enlightenment thinkers challenged traditional beliefs and shaped new ideas about government and society. And you're asked, given the thesis statement below, which of the following pieces of evidence does not support the thesis? I think they meant the thesis statement above. So, which of the following of A, B, C, or D does not support Enlightenment thinkers challenged traditional beliefs and shaped new ideas about government and society? So, which one does not? In this case, it would be D. Hobbes argued that people are naturally wicked and can be trusted to govern themselves, advocating for the need for absolute monarchies. So, Hobbes is not challenging any traditional beliefs. He's buying into the old beliefs. We should have absolute monarchs. They had absolute monarchs. Nothing new there. Okay, so that's not actually supporting that thesis statement. What is a credible source? I'm not going to get too deep into this. We'll talk about this more on Thursday. Sources and how to decide what is a credible source or not. It's not an exact science. It's tricky. The best way to tell if a source is reliable that you find online is, do you find errors, like information is wrong? That's a bad sign. A reputation of a source. Have you heard of this source? Has it been around for a while? Do they provide evidence? If they put some statement out there, do they actually link something to say that this is true? If I told you 98% of Americans own, I don't know, let's see, 98% of Americans own Ford F-150s. If I told you that, the first thing you would say is, well, that's wrong. That doesn't sound right. I don't see nothing but Ford F-150s on the road. I see a lot of Ford F-150s. It is the most popular truck in America. But 98%, Mr. Demagol's wrong. First thing you'd say is, where's your source? Where'd you get that from? And if I start telling you, well, I just heard it somewhere, I'm not reliable. You, as teenagers, you already kind of know what's reliable and what isn't, just to get that feeling. Well, that doesn't sound right. Or how are you getting that number? So make sure you're asking questions. At some point, you have to trust the source. I mean, sometimes you're going to get burned, but do your best to sort of vet a source. Does this seem right? Has anybody else heard of this? Maybe show your parent or your learning coach. Does this look right to you? So that's a good way to do it. We'll get into this more on Thursday. I'm not going to go into this too much. I want to get right to the paper. So The thesis statements and credibility of sources assignment is due today. It's worth 20 points. It is not due today. I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to have you guys do this on Thursday. It'll be due. Okay. So it says due today on this slide because this is what I would have showed you had we had class. But your question is on here. Did Enlightenment thinkers challenge traditional beliefs and shape new ideas about government and society? That's the first question. If so, how did they challenge those beliefs and ideas? Okay. You can use your notes. You can use previous recordings and slides. If you don't earn full credit, this is another big thing. You can resubmit. So if your thesis statement is all kind of messed up and I'm not sure what you mean, I'll send you back something saying, hey, can you fix this a little bit and maybe resubmit it, get full credit. So once you're done, you want to include your thesis statement, and it should clearly provide your position, which means I want you to pick. First, the question is, did the Enlightenment thinkers challenge traditional beliefs and shape new ideas about government and society? So your response should be, yes, Enlightenment thinkers challenged traditional beliefs and shape new ideas about government and society by blank, 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 however you want to answer that. Or, I don't think Enlightenment thinkers challenged traditional beliefs and shaped new ideas about government and society because. So, your thesis statement should say, yes, they do, or did, or no, they did not. None of this kind of in the middle. No, no, no. Pick a position, yes or no. And again, I told you before, it doesn't really matter if you completely are sold on it. It just matters that you write and defend it. That's all. Present 3 or more pieces of supporting evidence. So after you say the Enlightenment thinkers did support or challenge traditional beliefs, I want to know why. How do they challenge it? Three pieces of information. Okay. So it shouldn't be that hard, guys. I don't know. There's no limits on the amount of. Well, I'm sorry. There's no minimum amount of words that for this thesis statement sentence. I do want you guys to keep it short if you can. So please don't submit 2 paragraphs. However long. It should be a sentence basically. So if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, good luck. And I will see you all for live class for sure on Thursday. So I'm sorry I'm missing today, but tomorrow we will have live class.